What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Nvidia Corporation with the ticker symbol NVDA. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So I know Nvidia is going to be hot stock, so I wanted to cover it because it looks like earnings report just came out and they beat revenue and earnings by a large amount, and it looks like price moved up higher post market, so a nice 7% gain so far. So what is the chart telling me? It's telling me that the chart is very bullish for Nvidia. How bullish? Well, I would say it's probably going to be seeing a pullback any time now, but we did see a nice move up higher because this channel, it fits really nicely on the bottom. You can see if I connect the swings on the bottom, it fits right here. If I drag it up to the highs, you can see that we had a triple top at the highs of the channel. And then look what happened. After we hit the highs of the channel, price tried to pull back towards the bottom side. But look, the bears were just too weak to bring the price all the way back down to the opposite side of the channel. And then once the bulls broke this trend line, you can see that's when we had a huge rally up, and the bears just lost full control. So it looks like we're bouncing up near the support resistance side of the channel, because the top side of a channel in an uptrend is going to be acting as resistance. So it looks like we're coming up near it. So there's a good chance we might see a short-term pullback or maybe even a larger one. But either way, it looks still pretty good for Nvidia. I think obviously when the market opens tomorrow, it's probably going to also pop up higher, about the same amount, maybe even a little bit more. So looking for maybe the 515 level, maybe even the 520 level in the next couple of days, because that is where the top side of the channel is. And then from there, I can't really say how much higher Nvidia can go. I don't really have a measure move target to use, a technical target, but as long as we're still within this yellow channel, I think Nvidia will continue to trend up higher. It is definitely getting pretty crazy, but you can't fight the price. If the price is in an uptrend, then you just have to go with it regardless of the valuations and whatnot. So Nvidia is in a very strong uptrend. It looks like this yellow channel represents that uptrend very nicely. We're very close to the top side of the channel, which can act as resistance, where we can see a pullback toward the opposite side of the channel. It's very rare for the price to just overshoot it. That can also occur right over here. But if it does overshoot it, that's a bad sign, because overshoots lead to strong reversals back down. So it would be better for the bulls to wish that Nvidia doesn't overshoot the channel, and then we just keep on bouncing, within it, something like this. Let me put the channel back. So something like this would be, ideal, like that. But again, just have to see what price wants to do. It was definitely very strong uptrend. Price couldn't reach the opposite side of the channel. We just rallied higher towards the all-time highs. Nvidia just keeps on hitting the stops of the short sellers. This is basically a short squeeze. So we just keep on squeezing out the shorts, keep on hitting the stops of the shorts, picking tops in the market. And this is an uptrend, and basically the big money is on the bullish side. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit more higher prices. Looks like 505 right now, maybe the 515, 520 by the end of the week. And then from there, I can't really say how much higher we can go, because I got to base my targets and analysis on technicals. So I can't say we're going to go to the $600 level right now until I see it. At least right now, I can see the top side of the channel. So that's what I have for Nvidia so far. Basically, it's a nice uptrend. We're still within the uptrend, so that's a good sign for the bulls. And it looks like it's targeting the top side of this channel. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, you can see that I was looking for this measure move target to act as a ceiling for price, because I got it from the 2020 lows all the way up to the 2021 highs. And if I drag it across, you can see that's where Nvidia was targeting, and it did find some type of reaction from there in the past. Right back here in May of this year, it was at the 407 level. We found some resistance there. We sold off. We went a little bit higher, started selling off again, but then we started went even more higher, and then we pulled back right to the level, the 407 level, and found support from it, and then we just went up higher. So I don't really have a measure move target I can use to even gauge a good ceiling or a potential area that longs are trying to get outside of. So this is looking like it's very bullish. I mean, I wouldn't get too happy, because anytime the market gets too bullish, I'm pretty sure what happens, especially if you learned your lesson in the past. This is what can occur right over here. Same thing in December 2021, when the market gets really bullish. that's when, you should be a little bit nervous. So I think, we're coming into that zone. I don't want to pick a top. All I'm saying is that, Nvidia is definitely getting really overextended. I'm not saying, it's going to crash or anything, but you can just see how far the price is from the EMA. And a lot of times the price likes to stay near the EMA. Whenever we get too far away from it, price snaps back to it. And we're definitely really far away from the EMA. So I'm not saying we're going to pull back right away. I'm expecting actually continuation towards the upside, at least in the short term. And then we'll see how the price stays within this channel, because that will tell me, if it wants to continue higher or not. So that's all I have for Nvidia on the daily and weekly chart. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time. So I also wanted to cover AMC Entertainment Holdings, ticker symbol AMC, because it continues to drop down lower. So let's go over the chart. This is not a very bullish looking chart, and I'll go over the reasons why. It's because AMC was consolidating inside of this yellow range since November all the way up until August of this year. And look what happens when prices hit the lows of the range. It cannot go up to the highs, which is expected to occur because that is a range pattern. We go from the lows to the highs and the highs to the lows. So if price cannot reach the highs, that's telling me there's a bearish imbalance going on. That tells me that there's more aggressive sellers in the market than aggressive buyers in the market. So the big money is on the sides of the shorts. So that's what traders are looking at too. And they're not really interested in taking longs, or if they are taking a long, it's very short term, maybe intraday or maybe in a few days. But, for the next couple of weeks or couple of months, they're not really, looking to hold a long position. So either way, that was one sign telling me that the price is very bearish. Obviously, AMC has been inside of a downtrend since it made a peak back here in June of 2021. Every single major high is lower than the previous one. And I'll go over that maybe more on the weekly chart. But on the daily chart, it was looking pretty bearish. And you could anticipate the market was going to drop down lower after we hit the bottom side of the range twice and couldn't go up to the highs. Then we broke outside the range. And it's one thing to break outside of a range and fail and come back in the range. But look what happened here. We broke outside the range. Price pulled back to the bottom of it and found resistance. So basically the support turned into resistance. And then we just saw, the slam dunk lower. So basically it's really targeting the $1.11 level. And that is a technical support level. In the past, it was the all-time lows. So that is looking like a support level that maybe can stop prices or maybe even turn around prices. But either way, it looks like it's acting as a magnet. It's pulling price towards it. So I'm looking for the low $1 level. And this measure move target kind of also is an area the price can reach. So we had one large leg down, a two-legged correction. And then you can see that was the second leg down right over here, targeting the $1.39 level. So I'm looking for the mid, most likely the low $1 level for AMC as of right now. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart. Here's the weekly chart. I mean, you can just see how bearish the stock is. If you're holding the stock, you're holding shares, I know you don't want to see this. It looks pretty disheartening. But, this is the reality. Price, it continues to drop down lower. Maybe when it bounces off the all-time low support level, we can, finally find some type of bottom, because it did bottom in 2020 and 2021. So maybe, it can do the same over here. I'm not saying it's going to go to $0, but it looks like it's at least, continuing towards the downside. So, maybe next time, if you do have shares, you wait for a confirmed uptrend. See how price can't even get above the EMA. It gets above it, but it just fails right below it. So that could have been one sign to keep you out of a stock like this, or this stock particularly. So, next time, we want to see price get above the EMA and start bouncing from it, that would be a better, technical long-term decision. But AMC, it looks bearish. Maybe it's coming to an end fairly shortly. Let me see if I can find anything bullish on the chart. You can see that we did break this trend line. And, the price is not dropping as steep. It's kind of bottoming out. So like I said before, maybe this will be finally the bottom for AMC. I'm not really a hopeful type of person. I just go off of the technicals. Hope is never a good strategy. But either way, AMC is dropping out lower. I'm looking for the all-time lows. Because that is a strong support at the right around the low $1 level. And if we break it, then we break it. I don't know what's going to occur once we get to that level. There's a good chance we can maybe find support. But either way, AMC was not looking bullish at all. It was looking like it wants to come back right to the starting point of this entire bubble. That's normally what occurs on every single chart you look at. Not every single chart, but most charts. When you see price just rocket up higher and then it can't go any higher, it comes right back down to the starting point. I mean, you could look at Bitcoin, you could look at any tech stock, you look at any chart. All the charts look the same once you see this type of pattern occur. So that's all I have for AMC on the daily and weekly charts. It's a very bearish chart. It's looking like it wants to reach the $1 level, and then maybe then we can find some type of strong support. So this is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time. The Vee Trades technical analysis course is now live. Learn to read the chart the right way to prevent costly mistakes. Click the link below to start training now.